Yeah, hi there. This is Michael Buckoff, the founder, materials writer, and the owner for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And these comments are for A.M.A. I'm using the initials of your first, middle, and your last name. So I just read your integrated practice test number 10, and I want to talk about this right now in this video. Okay, so I'll be looking down at the passage and trying to give you some basic ideas on how you did, and specifically what kind of score you would get on this writing and why. First of all, in the introduction, you say, now as I'm reading, I will also make corrections, so you might want to pay really close attention to how I rewrite some of what you said. So the reading passage and the listening, how about, what if you say this, the reading and the listening passage talk about the benefits of using garlic from historical and medical perspectives. Use the word perspective. That'll demonstrate a more advanced vocabulary. They do. Now the only thing you didn't say is the lecture also, it supports and it disagrees with some ideas in the reading passage. It's interesting you didn't mention that. So paragraph 2, you say, you need to have a subject here, so I'm going to change it to say, the reading passage discusses that garlic was used in ancient cultures such as Egypt, Rome, Greece, and during world wars. In Egypt, for example, I would put for example in there as a way of showing the purpose of what you're about to say. In Egypt, for example, the garlic was used, ED there, to cure 22 illnesses, then put a semicolon to end that sentence, then put also comma, they believed that the garlic gave the workers more strength, not more of strength, just say more strength. In Rome and Greek cultures, now I'm going to make a lot of corrections here, get ready, not only were they using garlic in order to break spells and curses, but also they were using it to make soldiers more fearless. In addition, maybe use in addition to add to the previous idea, Marco Polo and the Vikings, I would just say used garlic to treat diseases which the sailors were suffering from during long voyages. During the World Wars, or during World War I maybe, garlic was used to fight infectious diseases. Again, I'll use the word infectious, the adjective there, and then make diseases plural. Okay, now we get to the most important part, is the listening. According to the listening section discussed, you have no subject there, so I'm going to say, the listening passage discusses that scientific research indicates that garlic has beneficial and powerful uses. Then say, for example, or for instance, it mentions that garlic kills more than 20 kinds of diseases and bacteria. Bacteria doesn't need to be capitalized. Then say, using the head of garlic, I would say decreases blood pressure in patients. Also, using the oil from maybe cooked garlic helps control patients, but you didn't say it. It talks about cancer. It can help control cancer in patients who are suffering from the disease. Okay, so grammatically, you're having some problems with your subjects and your verbs. You're not real comfortable with basic sentence structure, when one sentence ends and a new sentence begins, so you definitely need to work more in that area. Also, you're having some problems with word forms. But that's not really the biggest issue, I think, that will cause your essay to get the score that it's going to get. I'm going to give you some... What I want to do is look at the rubrics right now. Let me click on a link here. And I will put this link in the box where I made my YouTube video for you. You're probably going to score right now, I'm going to say 2.0 out of 4, or 14 points out of 30. Let me write this down. And I think you have language errors or expressions that make connections or meanings unclear, at key junctures of your writing task, you'll notice that I actually put in a lot of transition words in there that you didn't use. And by putting those transition words in there, it makes it easier to understand the relationship of your ideas. Now, the other problem is, I think you have omitted some important information from the lecture, particularly those parts of the lecture that disagree with the ideas in the reading passage about, the reading passage talks about how garlic was used to make workers more courageous and to break spells and curses, but the listening passage disagrees with that information. And you didn't really mention that. So you were missing some important information from the lecture that you didn't really discuss. Again, so your score here is 2.0 out of 5 or 14 points out of 30. In terms of my 7-step system, I do have some lessons I think that you should focus on to get better so that you can improve your writing. I recommend vocabulary lesson 3.0, vocabulary lesson 4, grammar lesson 7.0. You want to focus on the writing exercises. Also writing lesson 8.0, 8.1, and 10.0. By reviewing those lessons, I think you can strengthen your writing, especially your academic writing for the integrated writing task. Alrighty, thank you for submitting your practice test.